Hi everyone, welcome to this reading here. Let's find out what's on their mind, what are they really feeling, what are they really thinking, what are they presenting towards you versus what's actually happening, what's influencing, and so much more, okay? We'll have some guidance message as well. So we have 4 piles here, or 4 hearts. Orange is pile 1, lilac or the purple is pile 2, blue one is pile 3, and the green one is pile 4. Timestamps, as usual, are in the description box and the comments below. Make sure to choose with your intuition, and we'll get started with pile 1. Hi pile 1, welcome to your reading. You chose this orange heart. Let's find out what they really feel about you. So let's just see, first of all, what they're telling you, or what they project, what they show, how you perceive them, things like that. Okay, the more surface level stuff, and then we'll get into it. Okay, we have the 9th house and the Emperor. Ooh, okay. So they come off as quite strong, stable, structured, sorted out, very organized, and as if they have very good planning for the future. Structure in the sense just this is how it's supposed to be, and that's how I'm going to move. They come off as very confident. They could have Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and they could, if that's not true, then they're projecting that Aries type of vibe. Okay, that assertiveness, male dominance is very, the Emperor is all about masculine energy. If they are male, then they are making an effort, or they project a lot of that masculine type of energy. Now a lot of different cultures are watching this, so in some cultures this masculine, or like dominating masculine type of vibe is appreciated, and it's, you know, it's counted as okay, so people are behaving like their gender, that type of thing. Meanwhile in some cultures it is frowned upon, so fit that where it does. It doesn't have to be a negative thing, but anything done in excess is, anyway, not so nice, right? So it depends on each person, of course, but that's just the white blanket here, that they come off very masculine. Okay, let's see if that's actually true in how they think about themselves, and just think about you, think about romance, let's see their thoughts basically. Okay, we have Aquarius. I'm gonna put this a little bit lower. We have Page of Wands, and we have 9 of Swords. Okay, how do they really think? This is a bit of a flip-flop. One card, as you can see, is super youthful, very charming, again confident and carefree and just having fun, and as if, you know, the YOLO motto, right? Meanwhile the 9 of Swords is about what if this happens, what if that happens, and then this, and then that, and then this, and then that. There is like a domino effect, a looping of all things negative. There's so much fear and anxiety, overthinking, and all of this is done by themselves. So there is kind of a constant repetitive loop, but that's not always the case. And yes, everyone goes through 9 of Swords moments, so this can be just speaking about the current situation, their current state. But what's odd is that this is like a complete opposite. The Page of Wands is a complete opposite of the 9 of Swords. Like, I don't care. And 9 of Swords is like, but I have to care about every single thing. Everything matters, and I have to nitpick and fret over everything. That type of vibe. Also with Aquarius, one side is super rebellious and, you know, inventive and just having fun. Meanwhile the other side, since it's a very mental air sign, if you feed into the negative thought pattern, it will just keep going. The mind will keep reeling. Meanwhile, if you give into the more positive type of thoughts, it's very quick to change, to you know, convert the thought to feeling to action. Yeah, so there is that flip-flop thing. They're not as stable as they're coming out to be. Okay, let's see how they're feeling. We have I am underactive, fearful, unsure, anxious, disorganized, poor focus, and instability. Okay, So that again matches too much with the Nine of Swords. And we have the Ten of Cups. Okay, so what they're feeling with you or about you is they feel quite emotionally fulfilled and content, but there is also that fear. What a tug of war. This feels like a tug of war. They don't know what to do. They're very conflicted inside. Okay, this could be stemming from a difficult relationship in the past that has hurt him. They have invested quite a bit of effort, time into that relationship, but it did not work out, and in the process they just came out scathed, and that's not something easy to get over. But at the same time, their feeling is like, you know what, you feel good with this person, then just spend time with them. Even if you don't have to jump into a relationship like tomorrow, you can just be around them, stay connected, form a bond, feel that good feel, and yeah, just see where it goes, and hopefully it goes somewhere nice, right? But again, there is that conflict of, oh, but what if this happens? What if that happens? What if the past repeats, or so and so? And these type of feelings, when they're so internal, it's very difficult for someone outside to come and just ensure that no, I will not be like that, no, that won't happen, or stop being silly, right? Because these fears come from a very solid reasoning. They have proof for having these types of fears, and it's not easy to get over that just in a second and move on to the next thing. So it's understandable that they're conflicted, but the good thing is there is conflict, which means there is scope for positive outcomes. Yeah, but we'll see. Everyone has their own process, their own time. We'll see. Okay. We have Sowelu, which is Sun, Strength, Positive Energy, Male, Activity, and Conscious. So this is about how they're walking their talk. So how is the Emperor being translated? We have the Nine of Pentacles. So yes, they are walking their talk. There is that male-dominated energy again. Nine of Pentacles is as well super independent, very free. So they're showing that collected, calm, secure type of energy, that I am abundant, I'm independent, I'm free, and things like that. Okay, and I'm not gonna settle for anything less than what I deserve. That's the Nine of Pentacles. So when that thing comes, that I will not settle for anything that I do not deserve, it takes some time to even make proper communication, even to make a proper move, right? Because you have to make sure that first of all, you're ready, right, for a proper relationship again. So in this case, even if they do feel good about you, because they have such dominating fears, and it's been repeated twice, their feeling as well as their thoughts have this very fearful state, it pulls them back a lot. It's not easy to just go for it. And you might feel like it is overthinking, but being in that situation cannot be easy, right? Okay, what are some outside influences that are affecting their behavior? See, Descendant. Okay, there we go. We have shadow, denial, projections, and opposites attract. And we have the fifth house. Fifth house, okay. We have Knight of Swords. And we have Six of Wands. Okay, they could be very invested in their work at the moment. And this, again, is a type of a denial activity in order to keep their mind off these type of thoughts. So they're just going to be like, no, you know what, I have a goal, I have to achieve this, I have stuff to do, I have to get there. That's the Knight of Swords. And the Six of Wands is again about success, triumph, being needed by many people. So they're being noticed, and they're always like, hey, can you complete this? Can you do that? Can you help me out with this? And hey, that work is good. Things like that. Okay, now Descendant, of course, like I said, a little bit of a denial. There is a bit of projection as well. So if they can't compensate for the love type of lacking in the form of another love, then they're going to look for some other ways to cope with that and make themselves feel like they are perfect by themselves, right? They could also be getting invested in some creative aspects as well, taking some hobbies, starting some hobbies, trying to find some things that give them fun. They could be very involved in some types of entertainment forums as well. Fifth house is about entertainment, so binge watching things like that, hanging out with certain people who make them feel more light and fun. I suppose that's when they kind of go to the Page of Wands state as well again, but that's again kind of a masking of the fear part. Yeah, very determined, goal-oriented, that is the type of vibe, and that again goes with the Emperor, right? Although the confidence is definitely being shown as well. Yeah. This whole line here is all confident. Meanwhile, yeah, the deep down thoughts and feelings are a little bit not so much. So it feels like it's an ego as in the identity type of confidence, rather than something that's very deep within, that comes from inside and out. So that then acts as a presentation, as a personality, rather than a soul level of confidence, right? So you need external validation, for example, in order to feel confident and keep feeling confident. That's the difference when it's ego-based and when it's soul-based. Opposites attract again is like sticking out, because these two things again are so opposite to each other. They're not at all balanced, and they don't know how to cope with things. They're trying to find things that can help them deal with their own internal situations. But yeah, they're not realizing that it's only them that can solve their internal situation. Nothing external is going to help, and we do always keep trying to do something external to us that is going to help us out, but yeah, it's never satisfying enough. But anyway, it's a process. Everyone learns in their own time. Everyone finds their way, right? So I do wish them good luck. Okay, now how will they be walking their talk in the next 2 months? Okay, we have ice, block, stagnant, rest, and patience. And we have the 10 of Swords. This is deep. They're going through some tough stuff, okay? They're going through some tough stuff. Even if it's like this, okay? Even if they like being with you, which they seem to, they're trying extremely hard to not be thinking about anything. They're doing everything in their power to just be active and involved in some other things, which does not allow them to think about their emotions as such. Okay, which explains why there is no communication, and that's what they're up to. So the no communication period kind of just keeps it extended, right? Now, within the next 2 months, they're going to feel a little bit stuck. I feel like it's going to be a result of burnout. In terms of this type of determined energy, you can do only so much and go only so far in the same pace, right? So there is that thing where they accept that, you know what, this chapter of, how I was has ended now. Okay, so this is the point where you come to an acceptance. You stop denying that, you have changed and that relationship is over and it's over for good, or the things that you needed to learn from that relationship still applies and it did not die down with the person just leaving, right? 10 of Swords is coming to an acceptance that you need to go towards healing. You know that something has hurt you, and it's okay to feel that hurt. It's needed to feel that hurt in order to go towards that healing journey. If you never know what's wrong, how are you going to heal that, right? So there is that point of doing nothingness with the Isa card. Doing nothing, kind of resting, healing, going towards healing. It's going to take a while because it's not something easy. I don't know when they, left the previous relationship, or a similar situation of where they were hurt, and that is kind of blocking them from, from connecting with someone else. This could also be a result of their parents' separation as well, which is hurting them. So I keep saying breakup because that's the most common reasoning, but yeah, something that has hurt them very deeply and made them insecure about relationships, right? In the next 2 months, they will be coming to an acceptance, next 6 to 8 weeks actually, that they need to do something about this. They can't keep running away. So that's already amazing. Okay, then starts the journey of healing. The Ten of Swords is a very powerful card. It's not exactly pleasant to see, but it's absolutely needed. It's needed to get from this Nine of Swords to the Ten of Swords. It's very, very needed. Otherwise, you stay in the loop forever. And that's just how the energy vortex becomes, and that's all the things that you attract is more anxiety, more fear, more stress. Meanwhile, Ten of Swords accepts that, you know what, I have nothing, and I'm ready to start from scratch. And I don't know where to go or what to do and how my relationships will work. And I don't know the future. I don't see what's beyond the horizon, but it has to be better than now. Okay, so it's asking for patience, for time, and all of this is much needed. And these processes cannot be rushed. You can't just wake up and decide, okay, today I'm going to heal, right? So they need this rest, and I'm glad that they're coming to that that point where they acknowledge that they need help, either from source, spirit, or just friends, family, whoever they connect with, right? Trying to get out from that escapism type of vibe. Okay, we have some messages for you now from spirit about just relationships in general. So the universe works fast when I'm having fun. Yeah, definitely. And there is a stream of love supporting my dreams. Yes. So these are your 2 messages. One is, of course, like stay high vibe. This is just encouraging you to stay high vibe. The things you want in your life, even just the dream of my partner, my future partner should be like this and should look like this or should behave like this, should make me feel such and such, is all possible. And all you need to do is believe that the universe will deliver the best possible match for you in the best time. Okay, like I said, you can't rush these things. Only when you are ready to receive can you receive. So however many times you keep asking, but in your just daily life you're focused on that one person who is not that guy, even though they seem like that person, right? It's just that way you're not ready to receive. So even if the universe has your person ready, and just they can come by anytime, anywhere, it doesn't really matter where and when, right? You can't really see them unless you're ready to just listen to where the universe is taking you. So that's why it's telling you to do things that make you feel good, have fun, enjoy. If it is this person, they will come. Okay, they will definitely come if it is this person. But like I said, everything needs its own timing. If you rush this process and make this person yours, let's say, how is that going to help out them? Or even you? You can't be the person who is picking up everyone's pieces, not at least in the starting of a relationship. And you know what? Ultimately, everyone's a separate person, however connected we are. And yes, we do support one another and we are connected with each other. But our problems only we can understand. Only we can realize. We're the ones who know our internal thoughts and motivations and just the background workings of everything. So someone else cannot come and solve it for anyone. And some times of life, it is very necessary to be alone, just to show that no, you can be alone. However, I have seen so many people who are just like, no, you know what, I just need someone. I need someone. Why do you need someone? Because it's easier. But easy does not get you to the point that you're wanting to get. That stable relationship that makes you feel so loved and appreciated comes when you yourself feel respected, loved, and appreciated by yourself. You know you can give that to yourself without asking or needing it from anyone else. Of course, it is good to have someone else also, giving you that type of love and attention. That's definitely for granted. That should happen. If you're with someone, it should be a very healthy relationship, but your level of appreciation for yourself does not depend on someone else, showing you that type of thing. So it's basically asking you to stay in that high vibe place, do things that make you feel good, and the universe will deliver when the time is right. Just keep faith in the process, because timing is everything. Okay, there was a bit of a lecture there, but it just came through. Maybe some of you needed to hear it. I don't know. But yeah, I really hope that helped. So that's your reading, part 1. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you so much, gave you some more insights. If it did, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. It would really support the channel. You never know who needs to hear these messages, right? I will see you again next time. Take care. Bye. Hi Pal 2, welcome to your reading. You chose this purple or the lilac heart right here. Let's find out how they really feel about you. First, let's see what is their projection and what is your perception of them. So just, this is more of a surface level thing about how the general interaction was, is, or seems like. Okay, then we'll delve a little bit deeper into their own mind. Okay, we have the first house, which deals with personality. The ascendant is on the cusp of the first, and deals with also what we show others, what's the mask we put on, things like that. And we have this 2 of Swords. So they come off a little bit undecided, confused, like they don't know how to trust their intuition, and everything seems like a difficult decision to make. They can come off as quite unsure of what they want, how they feel, what they're trying to do, things like that. So it can be very confusing for you, so you feel like they are very confused themselves. Right? Yeah, okay. Let's just see more. What are they really thinking about you? We have I can, overactive. So bossy, hyper, too competitive, narrow-minded, self-centered, and too aggressive. This doesn't mean that this is what they are thinking that you are like, but these can be some traits that are governing them at this time. Okay, so it could be something like, I need to look out for myself rather than think about other people, that type of thing. So that is an example of the self-centered. No judgment at all. You need to make sure of that. No judgment. Everyone goes through these type of phases in different times of life. The circumstances around you, the situations can really shift how you project yourself, right? Okay. Then we have the 9 of Cups. Okay. And they have the 7 of Wands. Yes, there is that defensive energy with the 7 of Wands. Like they have to stand up for themselves and fight back every time. They're easily triggered, and they're always like one man for himself. That type of vibe that's coming through. Like, yes, I am abundant and I need to protect that abundance. They do feel confident about themselves, but maybe a little bit overly that. Okay, that's what their real thought is. The thought process is kind of like that. Okay, they have this protective layer around them, and every tiny bit of argument can feel to them like an attack. Okay, so they need to kind of be like, I don't care what you think and I don't care what you have to say, because this is what I've decided and I know I'm right, so I'm just gonna, be this way. So the divine masculine is hurt in them. Okay, What else? So a bit heavy on the fire side. Can be this. That's what the defensive thing. It can just be that you're like, no, I don't care about you. That's one way. Meanwhile, in some extreme cases, the just keeping pushing back converts you from the defensive side to the more attacking or the aggressive side, right? So there is that tendency too. So the defensiveness also comes from a place of insecurity and anger, but like I said, different situations can make us all be like that from time to time. So this can be their current energy as well. Okay? So I'm not saying this is how they are and that's just how they're going to be like, right? Okay. Okay, let's see more about how they are feeling actually about you. Oh, we have the sun, we have ego, stamina, consciousness, and father figure. Again, the sun is supposed to be a very good thing, but it's also, again, relating to the masculine, right? We have the Queen of Swords. Authoritative, decisive, not exactly touchy-feely, not very affectionate with things, very straight to cut to the chase. They know what they want, and that's it. So what's that confusion about? I don't understand. Okay, we have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords. They're thinking it would be more difficult than it actually would be to make the relationship work. Okay, I get it. They're being very intellectual about this. Yeah, they're being intellectual about relationships when it has nothing to do with intellect or the head, nothing. It is all about emotions and just how you feel. And if you're honest enough about how you feel, then you're not afraid to be yourself. You're not afraid to accept other people for how they are, things like that, right? If it's right, it's right, and you feel instantly comfortable with them. So in their case, they're involving their head a little bit too much. And I feel like they have other stuff as well going on in life which kind of engage this type of more dominating behavior or more intellectual behavior. For example, if they're an engineer, then there's no space for emotions at all. And if they're always occupied with engineering work, let's say, they don't have time to be developing the more emotional side of themselves, right? So there is that tendency to always be rationalizing things. Yes. And when you rationalize, the feelings get wonky and like it doesn't make sense. But feelings don't really have to make sense. It doesn't matter if it is rational or not, logical or not. The Queen of Swords also, tries to plan ahead and see where it might go. If they're starting some type of activity, they want to see where it might move, where it is headed, because otherwise it is a worthless effort, right? But that's how work happens, right? That's a very career thing, that you think about the losses and cutting losses, profits, things like that, right? But that has nothing to do with love itself. But yeah, like I said, the divine masculine is a little bit wounded, so whether they are male or female, that side is kind of on overdrive. Okay, which leads to that confusion of I have no clue what the next step should be. It's like they have to think a lot more in order to make something happen. They're not conflicted within themselves. It's not a conflict, but rather an incapability of escaping the mind's constructs. That's the Eight of Swords. Not able to get out of the self-wrapped hypotheses or even the thought process. And it's not easy all the time, right? If you've been brought up a certain way and you've just seen people of that type, then it's very difficult to imagine that you can live even without having that type of thought process, right? Like I know that I used to be quite goal-oriented rather than process-oriented, and whenever I did not achieve a goal, it was just very shattering, right? Meanwhile, if I would have just taken the joy out of the process, just improving myself along the way, then whether I reach that ultimate goal or not, I would have still learned a lot, and I would have appreciated it, and also, bounced back a lot quicker. Right, but that's something I learned from experience by first going through difficult times. So it's a process. You can't just go from 0 to 100 in like a day or two. So it makes sense that, they have that type of thing. If they're a father figure, can be mother or father again, father figure during their childhood has been a little bit more dominating. This is someone that they go to for advice, like, I don't know how to deal with this type of situation in the office space or in the college area or whatever it is that they're doing at the moment, right? Or they have had quite a bit of an influence while they were growing up, and that has kind of carried forward into their adulthood, and now that they're experiencing different things other than just a rational explanatory type of situations, it's hard for them to see how that would work. Okay, now let's see how they are walking this projection there. How do they behave accordingly? This is something that you're perceiving, this is something they're projecting towards you, but let's see just how in general they're working on it. So we have the Aquarius card. Again, very mental. This came in pile 1 for this portion here. So I mentioned that it goes 2 ways. One is you're very open, you're very ready to learn. Intelligence kind of rises because your mental functioning is quite sped up because it's an air sign. It represents all of that. But at the same time, if you get stuck in a negative thought process, you just keep looping in that negativity, and it's hard to get out of it. But at the same time, because it's the air element, it takes just one moment to decide that, okay, I'm going to switch up now. I'm going to shift from the low vibe to the high vibe, and that's many times enough to start the process at least, right? And we have the 8th house here. 8th house deals with psychology, deals with secrets of the subconscious, deals with, what else? I forget. Yeah, transformation. All or nothing. Yeah, definitely all or nothing. That's what, like, I will just be rational. That has worked for me, and that does work, but then you need to also be balanced with instincts and intuition as well, right? 2 of Swords is about needing to choose with intuition, because practically both sides of the argument are not a good solution. So you need to just choose with intuition, take a tough road. Both roads are a little bit tough. It's just rock and a hard place, right? Needing to choose between a rock and a hard place. So which way do you go, with the hope that the rock or the hard place is going to lead you to something better in the future, right? So there's that need to choose with intuition, but I feel like they're not able to yet, but it's just a moment of deciding once, and they can. We have the Strength card, and we have the 4 of Swords. Okay. This thing is a little bit exhausting for them, the emotion thing, and it's easier to be strong, let's say, or come off as strong, do things that make them feel as though they got it, but at the same time it is exhausting, and they know that there is something missing, but they're not exactly close to finding out what that is. Okay, they need some time, because the 4 of Swords is about taking rest. This is about practicing self-love, self-respect, healing yourself after a difficult period, or that's what I feel, that this emotional struggle with the mind is quite exhausting for them, and they need to rest frequently. And it is during these rest periods that they learn something new about their own mind, about their own psychology. They are strong people. Okay, they are strong. So they can deal with quite a bit. It's just the thing about knowing how to deal with certain things. That's what they're trying to figure out. Again, strength card is male dominated. So that's there. So they're projecting what, they're actually living what they are thinking and feeling rather than what you perceive of them. So they're not living indecisively, okay? But it's a slow process, so it comes off as indecisive in a short time period. I hope that makes sense. Right? Let's see some outside influences. We have the 10th house. Yes, there you go. There you go. I told you some. Yes, and we have the King of Swords. King of Swords. Yes, some father figure here who is quite the in-charge person, someone who is experienced, who just says, I know I'm right, I have gone through it, I have experienced it, so just keep quiet and do this and do that. So this can be a boss as well, some authority figure, can be a parental figure as well, like I mentioned before. I say boss because the 10th house is boss, or like if they're still studying, then a certain teacher, a certain guide, mentor, someone who is quite influential in how much time they are occupying of this person. So it makes sense that there is a little bit of a burnout as well with the 4 of Swords, that they need to rest to regain their strength because they're focusing more on their career. This is the outside influences that are affecting all of this, okay? So yeah, there are definitely some again, we have swords. There's so many swords. It's all about the air sign, communication, thinking. There's just intellectual type of things. 10th house deals with the public image, the career options, that they are well suited to follow. Yeah, the goals in life, things like that. Okay, someone in their life is like, okay, you gotta reach the top, you have to be this, because the King of Swords has gone through all types of hurdles in order to climb to that mountaintop. And when they climb to that mountaintop, it's like an achievement that, okay, I'm going to, just put my sword down on this rock and establish my spot, and I have made it here type of energy. They did gain a lot of wisdom, so the experience cannot be discounted at all. They definitely are quite knowledgeable, and there's plenty to gain from this person, but they're a little bit, like I said, with the Queen of Swords as well, that's the same thing applies for King, is that they're not exactly touchy-feely and very hard-hitting. Let's get to this, and these things are, not important, and we gotta achieve stuff, things like that. Ooh, that's a toughie. So their influences are as well not encouraging for emotional development. So this is something that keeps on going. They could be earning, though, I'm gonna say that, or they are wanting to earn, and that's why this is as well. They're kind of not trying to run away from this career development, but yeah, it's not helping them as a wholesome being. But I suppose they're also thinking, okay, for now I'm gonna be like this, and later we'll see. Okay, let's see the rest. In 6 to 8 weeks, we have Gebo, which is gift, love, marriage, partnership. We have the Knight of Pentacles, and we have the Judgment. Okay, it's an improvement. I'll say it's an improvement. There is more about let's work. They still have that career thing. Knight of Pentacles is career, working every day, steadily, because again, Rome was not built in a day. You can't build a whole farm if you don't sow the seeds today and plant and take care of them, things like that. So Knight of Pentacles is waking up every single day religiously to do the work and doing it one step at a time. So the good thing I see is they are better able to define their short-term goals in order to get to the long-term goals. So that leaves more space to keep more faith, or to find themselves and to ask for help, things like that, because the Judgment here is about releasing the soul or allowing divine guidance to come and touch the soul such that they are better able to manage through the daily or the mundane difficulties, right? Putting the faith in something higher than them, that is beyond any human touch, right? That's Judgment. I leave it up to you, God, or I leave it up to you, the universe. You decide what is good for me. Where do I go from here? How can I heal myself? What is the road for me? Things like that. Okay? But one more thing that's optimistic is the gift, love, and marriage partnership. I feel like they would be more willing, more accepting of the feelings portion as they connect more and more with their true essence, and that they're not just a machine that is just trying to get to a top of some field, right? You need to work, of course you need to put in the work, but at the same time it should not be consuming your every breath, right? And that's what they're coming to this point in the next 6 to 8 weeks. That's so good, right? About communication, I don't exactly see where they would be getting back in touch, but I would say soon after this, unless again something changes. This is kind of an energy update, so it's a forecast for 2 months from now. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I missed anything. There's a lot of 8s, 8, 8, and 8. So 8s are all about money and abundance. And we have the Nine of Cups there, which is again abundant. They might get a job in the next 2 months, so they might be hustling right now for that as well, for some of you. Yeah. Okay, so they're getting a little bit more freedom after 2 months to think about other things. Okay, let's see some messages for you from Spirit. For your love life just in general, not specific to this person, but yeah. Okay, we have oneness is my true nature. The cards are just like, okay, yeah, stop talking, just show them the cards. Okay, oneness is my true nature. That's beautiful. The more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. And my fearless freedom lights up the world. There's a lot of fearlessness. It's asking you to be fearless in your in yourself, actually. Oneness is my true nature is a very, very deep card. I don't know for whom that might be relevant here, but it's just noticing the interconnectedness of everything. As long as there is a wounded part of our society, we are as well wounded. Okay? We need, as souls, for everyone to be elevating, and we should help each other elevate. Okay, but obviously at the same time we also need to be willing to accept these changes, and the ego kind of gets in the way of the purity of the soul, right? That's why there is this fearless freedom. You are free. You don't need to be afraid about anything. Okay, if there is any type of fear about love or relationships, these 2 cards are just telling you, you don't need to be afraid. Honestly, you don't need to be, because you can be that light, and you don't need another person to, show you that you are the light, right? Again, there is more faith. The more faith you put in the universe, the more courageous you become in facing anything, any type of fear or insecurity that comes your way, because that's not true. It's just the ego trying to build up certain negative patterns in your mind to kind of keep you in that comfortable state that, okay, be afraid, I know how to be afraid, let's just stay afraid, things like that. Okay, that's just how the ego works, unfortunately. but the soul knows that it is loved, it is supported, it is connected with everyone and everything that has a soul, right? So that itself frees the soul. It doesn't need to have any shackles. We are in a body, but we are not, you know. This is not the limit. The body is not the limit. And neither is the egotistical thought pattern. Right? So bring more energy into that faith, not coming from a place of whenever there is that type of feeling that, oh, when will I get someone, how will I get someone, who is this going to be, there is that, if there is an undertone of desperation, I'm not saying everyone will have that, no, but if some of you have it, then make sure to investigate. Okay, make sure to investigate, because that is not making you fearless. That's coming from a place of fear. And that is only harming you and delaying your gifts, right? So might as well deal with it as soon as you can allow yourself, right? So that's what I have for you, pile 2. Thank you so much for watching. I hope these messages resonated with you, or in the very least helped you out. Do like, share, comment, and subscribe to show your support to the channel. You never know who these messages might really help out, so I would really appreciate your help in getting the channel and the video out there. But until next time, I do hope you take care. Have a good time. Bye. Hi pile 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the blue heart here. Let's find out, what is this person really thinking and feeling about you? First, let's find out some projections and perceptions. That is, how do they present themselves to you? What do you perceive about them? Things like that. Then we'll delve a little bit deeper onto their thoughts and feelings. Okay, so we have the first house. There's the house of personality, appearance, things like that. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. So they must be coming off as quite practical, down-to-earth, steady, dependable, respectable in their own field, in their own regard, and someone who makes consistent efforts rather than being a flake, basically. And you know what's interesting? I've been getting the Knight of Pentacles in so many piles already. It's crazy. It looks like some type of collective thing. But anyway, so that's how you perceive them, and that's how they present themselves to you. That's the side that they show to you. Okay? What else? Their rising sign could be an earth sign, or that is more dominant in their chart. So once again, very practical, steadfast, sure-footed, making small steps, making sure that there is planning as well. So they're not someone who's just going to dive head first just because they feel like it. Okay, they need to plan, they need to think, they need more time, because Pentacles need time. Okay, all right, let's see the other cards. What are their real thoughts towards you? We have Saturn, which is law, structure, responsibility, and ambition. We have I see, overactive. This is the third eye. Over planning, obsessive, paranoia, nightmares, blurred reality, no focus. And how you can, balance this chakra out is by embracing the light, going out into the light, meditating, and through understanding the mind, things like that. So yeah, okay, we'll see the tarot cards first. We have the 7 of Cups, and we have the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so the 10 of Pentacles is really nice, right? The 7 of Cups is also about like wishful thinking. 10 of Pentacles is about home and family. So I'm gonna say that they like you, but at the same time there's a lot of kind of, the over planning type of thing, and they know that that's not grounded, right? Even if that could be a wishful thought, it's not exactly possible. That's the type of vibe. I don't know why I feel that. Yeah, because the head in the clouds, that's the kind of Seven of Cups, as if, you know, all these cups are amazing and I can have the choice of anything that I want. And they're not all of them are going to be rooted in reality. Not all of them are going to pan out the way that you would want them to. But on the surface level, they all seem like amazing choices. That type of thing. But you never know which one's kind of gonna lead you to the snake here. Also, what I'm getting is that there are many ways to approach things, and there's some sort of confusion about what choice to make. There's this, I don't know what to do, that type of thing. So it's like, yeah, I like them. Yeah, it's more homey and stable and cozy, that type of feeling. But at the same time, there's a little bit of what should I do rather than what do I want to do. Right, there is some sort of responsibility happening, and that's what they're thinking about. Maybe you know the situation much better. Of course, it's a general reading. Although, for some of you, it could be kind of a third party, maybe. I don't know. Your pile was... I struggled a lot when I was shuffling for you guys, because a whole bunch of chaotic messages were just coming through, and I was just, I don't know, did I shuffle correctly? Should I trust this card that, you know, fell out? Things like that. Okay, it was quite confusing. I don't know why. And now that I see these cards here with the Seven of Cups, I kind of feel like that's them, right? The feeling is I don't know. And by not knowing, they're kind of obsessing over wanting to know, because it's not like them to not know, right? Okay, we'll see more before I say anything more. Okay, so we have the Moon card for what they're feeling deep down, which is, well, quite appropriate since the Moon rules our emotions. Then we have the 12th house, which is the spiritual house. Also quite... it's more in the dream state, dreaminess as well, the more flowing, abstract, once again, not rooted in any type of practical reality, things like that. That's what the 12th house is about. But then we do have Capricorn, which is a cardinal earth sign. That's very much like the Knight of Pentacles, because, first of all, earth signs, that relates with the pentacles, but also Capricorn likes to kind of chip away at the mountain. It's represented by the mountain goat. So they're very steady and very determined, quite resilient, things like that. So, and cardinal means they're action oriented. They need to do something in order for, you know, making the dream a reality or things like that. Okay. So all of this combined is like, they know they have a spiritual connect. They have this instinct, this drawing in feeling, but at the same time there is some sort of resistance or resilience towards that feeling, because they're not sure if it is in their practical interest. We have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is really good, again, for marriage. It's a very traditional values type of thing. That's really the romantic portion of it. Otherwise, it's kind of just, I should do this, I should not do that. It's a lot of dogmatic principles being represented. Like, this is the hierarchy, you should listen to your guide, and this is what's gonna happen. You're beneath so and so people, or whatever the thing is, right? We also have the Temperance. The Temperance is about mixing passion with emotion, with romance, being in a balanced state. Both of them are very spiritual. So yeah, that reaffirms this 12th house situation. Okay, I feel like I get it. They feel uncannily drawn towards you, and they like you. But this type of feeling is new to them. Okay? It does not make too much sense for it to be so strong, to be feeling something so strong. Because their general disposition is to think things through, and when they think more, normally things get clearer, right? But in this case, it's not getting clearer. What is reality itself is more malleable in this case, right? So they have this feeling that if they are with you, they're not going to be with you for just a short while, because we have 2 of the family marriage cards. But at the same time, that's a big thing, right? That's a big thing. You can't just be like, yeah, okay, cool. Maybe I'll marry that one, right? That you really need to feel like, am I ready for this though? Like, yeah, sure. But yeah, exactly. So, okay, let's find out more. Okay, how are they? This is how they are presenting themselves, but how do they actually behave? We have Mars, so that's passion, anger, action, courage is our competition. And we have the Page of Pentacles. So, okay, fine. They're walking their talk. What they are presenting towards you is not exactly, is very much in line with how they are actually. Okay, very, again, grounded, always ready to learn. Although they don't see themselves as very mature. Okay, they don't see themselves as steady enough to be getting into anything serious. Okay, they do have a desire, but they feel like they themselves are in the making. So it's a big ask to be, stretching the how do you say that? Oh my goodness, I feel like I can understand how they are thinking and feeling it so much. Oh goodness. So they feel as though if they get with you, they're gonna have to stay with you for the long haul. Okay? But they're thinking too much about what's going to happen like 5 years or 10 years down the line, but depending on where you are in life. But rather than doing that, they could just focus on right now as well, right? But every time they think of right now and making something happen at the moment, they immediately go to, yes, but it's gonna lead to. Okay, so they have the desire to take action towards their passion, but it also needs to be founded under strong grounds. And that first means that they need to be sure, right? So it's really respectable that they're not wishy-washy, right? That maybe they're taking it a little bit too far, but it's okay. Everyone has their process. Okay, let's find out more. What are some external situations that are affecting all of this type of behavior? We have Gemini, which is a mutable air sign. We have the Lovers. And we have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so some of you guys might be still in the learning stage, actually. Because we have a lot of the student internship, working for the career type of vibe, so a lot of you would be that. So here the outside influences is sticking to something that they already know, so kind of remaining a little bit conservative in their efforts or even in the outlook of things. They don't want to stretch too much in terms of romance at the moment. That's one of the reasons. Okay, so they keep kind of things close to their cards until they make sure that they're ready for something more. Gemini is about communication, so they would rather have a much clearer communication and also understanding. It does not mean that they need to speak to you as such, but like I said, they feel very spiritually connected. So for some of you guys, it's just a level of understanding that if they need to take some time, you understand. And same goes vice versa as well. If you need time, they understand. Okay, so that mutual understanding, that duality of things, especially with the Lovers here, that there is a certain ebb and flow, give and take energy between the two. There's the divine masculine, divine feminine, and both of them need each other as well. This is also within us. We need our divine masculine and divine feminine within us to be in harmony. That way we are not wounded in any way and we don't reflect our wounds, right? And that's how then we form healthier relationships with other people, so and on. If for some people that I mentioned, the third party situation, it could be this relationship that is holding them back. Okay, so even if they want to get out of that situation, this relationship is a little bit of a strong pull. So there is that two minds kind of thing. I want to, but I can't, but I should, but not, but I don't know. Okay, there's always the two-sided thing, and that's kind of leading their minds to be in like overdrive. Also, now this will be only for a few of you, but I'm just getting it, so I'm gonna say it anyway. More focused towards career and building a life of their own before this gets started on any of the romantic love relationship type of things. Okay, once again, depends where you are in life. All right, now within the next 6 to 8 weeks, how is all of this going to change? We have Avas, which is junction, endings, transformation, death, and rebirth. I think someone told me that this one's titled wrong, but yeah, the description's fine. Okay, and we also have energy, work, sex, land, balance, and grounded. Oh good, we have grounded, that's good. We have the Ace of Wands, Six of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, there is some sort of movement here with the Six of Swords. It can be a metaphorical movement or a physical movement, shifting houses, shifting locations, just moving countries, cities, whatever. Okay, there is that move which is actually going to change their life quite a bit. It's going to be a fresh start because we have Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is a reigniting of passion, of creative spark, of just beauty and inspiration all over the place. And Ace of Pentacles is the beginning of, let's say, a job, internship, an income source, building new foundations, getting to a new house. If you're at the stage of purchasing houses, then this is about purchasing one and then moving there, which gives them space to, think more clearly and expand their vision in terms of the mind. Okay, and also we have the land and grounded and all of that. So I'm gonna say many of these people are going to be like shifting their location. Okay, it's quite prominent. But this is then going to help you guys begin again. Okay, there is a rebirth of sorts for them personally as well, but also this behavior of, oh, I need to be practical and just this is what's holding me back from, making anything happen with you guys. In like 6 to 8 weeks, there is a scope for a new beginning, a new transformation, new inspiration. Okay, but things are shifting for them first. I was getting one more thing. Yes, for those of you who don't, it's kind of like, okay, we're gonna just stay a little bit afar, but I kind of like that person, so I was just wondering if they like me back or something. Again, yeah, they seem like they do. And since you don't have a prior bond, in 6 to 8 weeks, there is chance of some communication starting and a beginning of a new friendship, and how you proceed from that point, and that is going to be very subject to you and that person, of course, but it is definitely a turning point. Okay. Oh, I almost forgot, the lovers also in terms of astrologies is Gemini. So they're if this is a third party, I especially feel that this person they are with is a Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Okay, it's interesting, this type of repeat. Okay, now this is a message from Spirit for you. It's going to help you out with just love and relationships, just offer some message that you might need, so hopefully it helps. Okay, we have, through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. Yeah, this is asking you for some higher understanding, some internal peace, asking you to also keep faith. Keep faith. If it's meant to be yours, it's going to be yours when the time is right, with the right person. If it is this person, you would know obviously if a lot of these resonated, then keep faith. Because you keeping faith is going to help them keep faith, since you guys seem quite connected in a spiritual sense, at least to what you guys know, right? And that, therefore, yeah, you doing something is going to have a vibrational effect on people, on other people who are connected with you as well. Okay, so that's all I'm getting for you, pile 3. Thank you so much for watching. The beginning was a little bit just scattered, but can't help it. That's the vibe I got, right? So I hope this helped as much as it did. I do hope it gave you some insights. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I will see you again next time. Take care. Bye. Hi pal 4, welcome to your reading. You chose the green heart here. Let's find out what's going on in their mind while you guys are not communicating. Okay, so first we'll see some perceptions and projections. How do you perceive them, and what do they show themselves as? Okay, so we have Pluto, power, death, transformation, and evolution. And we have the 10 of Cups. Okay, this is an interesting combination. So there is this promise of a bright future with the 10 of Cups. It's more emotional rather than a solid thing. It's not a real promise, but you kind of feel very drawn and connected and very emotionally fulfilled, things like that. Okay, but with Pluto, it's like there is that very nice, it's just too good to be true. That's the vibe I'm getting with the 2 cards here. Too good to be true. It's too much rainbows and ice cream and sunshine and blue skies. But then there is Pluto, who rules the darker sides, the shadowy sides, the things that are growing and shifting and changing in the background, which are going to change the narrative, which is going to decide where the power lies. Kind of like, is it the very flighty promises made during, a very naive time, or is it going to be a relationship that survives the test of time, right? So which thing has the power at the moment? And that is, honestly, that's always changing, right? Like, you don't go through the same thing all the time during a course of a lifetime. That's interesting. I can't wait to find out more. Okay, so what are the real thoughts towards you? We have Sagittarius. That's nice. We have the 4th house. We have, I feel, sacral chakra, underactive, depression, withdrawn, rigid body, shy, sexual fear, and lack of passion. We have the 2 of Pentacles, and we have the 9 of Swords. Oh, okay. I see why we got Pluto. So there is a lot of anxiety, of course, when the 9 of Swords comes. Anxiety, although most of the time it is a result of overthinking, but they do have a basis in this particular reading, okay, because the 2 of Pentacles is about actually needing to juggle 2 things, okay? It can be a relationship and a friendship, it can be home and family, and also a relationship, work and home life, things like that. 2 different aspects that don't really gel, but you have to juggle with both of them. Okay, and since we have the 4th house here, I'm going to say that home and family has an impact on their thoughts. Plus we have the parents card here. I suppose it's mainly the mother figure, because the sacral relates with the maternal figure. It can be their father or their mother, but whoever acted as the more nurturing feminine energy in the family. Okay, and we have depression, withdrawn, these type of things, again relating with the 9 of Swords there. So they're really way in over their heads, and it's just too much to handle. It's too much to handle. That's the screaming message here. Okay, now Sagittarius is very broad-minded, not future-oriented, like future planning is quite good, very curious to learn, but at the same time it's more of the philosophical, higher thinking, higher learning type of sign. It's also traditionally placed in the 9th house, right? The 9th house is it rules religion and dogma and principles and tradition, things like that. So I feel like there is some type of traditional influence that is affecting their thoughts a lot. It's, for example, if parents do not approve, it is definitely going to create some turmoil in their thoughts towards you, right? Of course, depends where you are. Okay, not many people introduce their potential partners to their parents or anything, so of course it might apply to some of you, but yeah, there is that vibe where it won't fit. Maybe they won't agree. It's like that. On the other side, if the parental thing is not a factor for you guys, then this is about just how am I going to manage things? There is that management anxiety, like I can't juggle so much. There's that feel. I have to focus more on building a home for myself, let's say, or creating some sort of foundation in order to get a home for myself in the future. Things that there's just some sort of overthinking. There's a lot of, the 9 of Swords, and there's unnecessary anxiety. Many times. Okay, so the 9 of Swords anxiety is just an opportunity for growth. It's not supposed to be easy, but if everything just came to us easily, we never would learn anything, right? So there is some type of fear there. It could also be coming from a past relationship, although I don't see the 7th house here or anything related to the relationship, so I'm not gonna be very strict about that. But there is some type of influence here. Even, it does happen when you're like super into work, you're not interested in all of these things. If you have a wounded attachment to certain aspects of your life, the other aspects kind of fall out of balance, right? So there is that type of thing, not being able to balance. Okay, let's see more. Feelings. What are their true feelings towards you? We have Mercury, communication, mind, intellect, reasoning, and language. We have the Hanged Man, and we have 4 of Swords. They need some sort of healing. They have taken a pause on purpose. They need to think things through, although they're not really doing a very good job. Although I don't know how long you've been separated. If this is like a more recent thing that you're not talking to each other, then it's just that they're very much in their head and they need some time before they sort their thoughts out, right? But they have put their feelings kind of on hold, and it's like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it here so that it heals in its own time. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna go to bed and sleep, right? But I feel like there is some type of spiritual connection here, because the Hanged Man is also about taking a look at things from a different perspective and also represents spiritual enlightenment, right? So there is a spiritual touch to the Hanged Man here. Plus, 4 of Swords being, also representing dreams. Like you sleep and then you go towards dream. I don't know why I'm getting that. I don't think, it does not represent it in the book, but that's what's coming, as if you guys can connect in your dreams, whether you remember your dreams or not. A time of deep rest, transmutation of shadow, healing from burnout, taking a brief holiday from your reality, renewal, and self-love. That's what the 4 of Swords represents. So there's nothing about dream as such, but it's really, really coming through as if you can communicate with each other. There is a deeper connection. You can communicate with each other, even if it's not like through words, like you think it and then they hear it, not so literal, but for example, you send out loving thoughts and they feel more at ease, let's say. But the more frantic you become, the more frantic they become, right? It's that type of connection. if you are a lucid dreamer, if you have more control over this lucid dreaming, then I suppose it could be literally the dream state meeting, but that won't apply to a lot of you. What else? Yeah, they need to heal from some burnout. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that's about, but it's also different for everyone. Okay, we'll see more and see what else we can figure out. Okay, we have Jupiter here, luck, growth, expansion, optimism, and understanding. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is what they're actually doing. This is what they seem like, but this is what they're actually doing. They're trying to plan the next steps and think practically in order to give the emotions a rest. Okay, they don't want to be emotional for a little bit because something's affecting them quite a lot. This can also be being focused quite a lot on work, and I'm not joking, all the piles have Knight of Pentacles. I don't know how or why. It's not always in the same position, but every pile has it. It's like that's the escape path, right? Like you leave the romance side and you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna focus on my job or career, wherever you are. Okay, so there is that forward movement thing, but it's not as fanciful or fantasy filled type of future that it might appear. Okay, so steady progress, not strategizing, more like planning, small steps, regular work, trying to gain some growth in their own foundations, or like in the more material realms, if they're trying to get a house, for example, trying to save up enough, getting a loan, things like that, in order to buy a house or get a piece of land, things like that. And also if it's just about the work, then it could be more about like getting promotions, increments, things like that, right? So there is some type of growth and expansion related work that they are more into, but it's in the area of more Pentacles energy. That's work, money, being practical and dependable. Things like, what can you depend on? What should you work towards that you can depend on later? Okay, so you work through your prime years in order to be stable for retirement, let's say, right? That's very representative of this whole thing. Okay, now what are some external factors that's affecting all of this? Actually, mainly these two cards here. What's affecting? We have the third house, we have Gemini, third house, and Mercury. All of that belongs together. That's very interesting. And we have the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, their family has a big factor to play in all of this. Yeah, the home and family thing is a massive factor in what they are thinking and how they are feeling. I feel like their mind and their heart is getting quite blurred in terms of emotions. Because, like I said, these two things are very connected to the Mercury here. This section is about what they're feeling. Meanwhile, the Ten of Pentacles is closely connected to the fourth house there. That's the house of home and family. What's more interesting is Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. What they're doing is affecting what they're thinking, but also what their family is saying is affecting what they're thinking, and hence what they're doing. Also, what their family is saying, because third house, Gemini, all of it rules communication and kind of this is how you think and what are you curious about, which way of thinking do you adopt, right? So it is quite common for the family members to have some interference, at least in some cultures, right? To have some interference in their children's lives. Ooh. But it can also be sibling as well, but that's very less likely. Yeah, I'm gonna say family. So it's like, no, we don't want people like this, or no, you cannot date this person, I will not allow it, that type of thing, right? That's causing a lot of internal struggle. And even though there is that loving feeling, or was there, that was the promise of it, that's the feel of it, it is really, it got complicated too fast, it looks like. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's quite clear, right, for you guys. It's just so interconnected, it's crazy. This is the only pile that's so much. Okay, let's see 6 to 8 weeks what's changing. Hopefully a lot. We have Thurisaz, which is thorn, pain, focus, hardship, and introspection. Okay. We have Laguz, which is water, emotion, fears, and female. Yes, I'm gonna say the feminine, the more the maternal figure. Yep. We have Eight of Swords, Seven of Wands, and we have the Two of Cups. The Eight of Swords, of course, is, you could see from the image itself, is just being bound by fear, not knowing where to go, what to do. Everything is just too foggy, too crazy, and a lot of these limitations are because you let the limitations be. Okay? You're binding yourself. For example, when you keep overthinking and you kind of get swallowed into the negative thinking patterns, you just tie yourself up, and self-sabotaging and just self-abuse, things like that just become very apparent. It becomes too commonplace. That's not nice. But also there is that Seven of Wands. It can stand up for, it can be representing standing up for your gut instinct, but also that they get a little bit too defensive. And seeing how there is quite a bit of pain, fear, that type of thing here, I'm going to say that this decision, or this trusting the gut instinct, is not going to be easy, right? And in the process, it's going to be a little bit scathing for them. Even if they, out of, that happens, right? When you've been suppressed for far too long, you're just like, you know what, I don't care, I'm going to be with whoever I want, and I don't care what anyone else has to say about it, right? So this is that type of thing. Okay, they can be with you, but that does not mean that they will be completely fine, because family is just as important, right? So there is a bit of hardship there, but it does need introspection. After doing some introspection, taking necessary actions to heal properly, rather than just ignoring certain problems and just being like, you know what, emotions are not my cup of tea. When you start really solving them, going through each emotion, you can conquer these fears, right? But of course, that's again up to free will. But there is that vibe that they can stand up for themselves, but it's not the answer that is going to bring them peace. Yeah, Two of Cups, though, does signify some union, romantic union. Yeah. Hang on, I'm just trying. I feel like I'm missing something. Hopefully the boundaries they set up are not way too strong, because when they come out of fear, these boundaries that are built here can be unhealthy very fast. And even if that seems like in the beginning that it's only going to affect certain people, it slowly starts to affect every other relationship, because it came out of a damaged motivation rather than something for self-respect or self-protection, right? So that's something just to look out for. There's a lot of, I feel like they are the ones going through this Pluto transit. If you have their birth chart or something, I don't know what your relationship history is, so if you have that type of connection, then maybe find out where this Pluto lies, because it seems like they're going through some time. And the beauty of Pluto is, even though it reaches the darkest points, it brings out the best in every person. That's why we have this evolution here. You will cycle up. It's like that. Plus, with so much Jupiter and Sagittarius energy, yeah, they're eventually going to be doing really good. But these things take time. Yeah, that's one thing I've been repeating, because we have so much Pentacles energy in the other piles, and here it's the Pluto thing came here. So yeah, that's one thing that's common for everyone. But these difficult times come only for us to, surmount them, to gain some lessons out of them. Either they are a lesson in resilience, or a lesson in courage, a lesson in, being able to, the courage, like being able to face your fears and being able to come out on the other side, and knowing that, we have stuff to deal with, so we deal with it. That's okay. We have emotions. There's no need to shove it down somewhere, right? Dealing with it is, well, it solves the situation much faster, right? Yeah, like I said, there is some introspection needed. If they are able to do that, they can better manage their boundaries and also untie themselves, and, not take it so far as to self-sabotage or abuse in any way. So yeah, if you guys happen to get together in the next 2 months, maybe pass along the message to them. Yeah, of course, it depends whether, like, how much of this is resonating. You know this person a lot better, I hope, since a lot of parental influence is involved. I'm gonna say you do know each other, like, closely. Okay, now this here is a message from Spirit for you. With regards to your love life. In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. Yeah. Okay, so you will get love, of course. But I suppose it's also saying don't try to force something, because forcing it is not just gonna make it happen out of nowhere. Like, these things are some things that are beyond just the day-to-day interactions, right? So if it's, a long-term relationship or a marriage of any sort, it's not something to be taken lightly, right? So if you're with the wrong person, it can be very, very deeply damaging, whether you expect it in the beginning or not expect it. That's different. Okay, we're humans, we can't really see so far ahead either, but that's why we rely on the universe to kind of guide and shape a little bit, give their insights and show us the way, things like that, right? So this card is kind of asking you to keep faith in that concept, in the process as well. If you do get together with this person, then there is always something to learn, even if they are going through certain transitions. Maybe for you the lesson is, how do you help someone going through a difficult time? How to empathize more, let's say. Okay, that was just an example. But yeah, there's always, like, the very close interactions that affect us emotionally will have some type of lesson in it. So just in case, because there's a lot going on, I'm not going to say that this is going to be it and you guys are just going to get married and be happily ever after. No, that's not that type of reading. But the message here is, if at any point in any of your relationships things go wonky, it's okay. You're just headed towards the right direction. It's a detour, but it's not the final card, right? I hope I made myself clear. Okay, and this applies to just in general. Okay, it doesn't have to be this particular person. It's just in general, for every time you felt disheartened or lost or just confused or anything, the universe is telling you, it's just bringing you the right-minded thinking and the energy of love that's gonna be resonant with you, right? Okay, so that's what I have for you, Pile 4. Thank you so much for watching. Do like, share, comment, and subscribe if these messages guided you and resonated with you, etc. Okay, I will see you again next time. Take care. Bye.